I'll get this started. Welcome to today's FSPA webinar. We're here today with BadgePass. Before we get started, I want to let you know that you will be muted during the program. This helps us keep the audio clear as we are recording this. I do want to encourage questions and comments, and ask that you use the chat box on your webcast viewer. And then when we're done with the session and we go to the Q&A one by one, we will go through all of the questions and we will stay on until we're finished. The webinar is set for 1 hour, but we'll make sure everybody's questions are answered. This webinar will be uploaded to the FSPA website. If you haven't gone there, it's www.fspa1.com. Up on the right-hand side is a webinars tab, and you can see all of the webinars that we have done. They are not behind a login, so you can share them with your employees. You can refer back to them at any time. This will be up there in a few days. I will send an email blast to you when it is out there. With that, I will turn this webinar over to Tyler.
Awesome. Thank you, BJ. So I appreciate all of you having us on here. We're always excited to get to talk about the product and security in general, and kind of what we do and what our ideas are, where a security system starts, right? For organizations, of all different types, but that includes, the financial world. So I'll start and give you a little background on us. I know that we met a lot of you in Texas a few months ago. We appreciated y'all having us there. It was a fun time. We enjoyed getting to meet everybody and show some of you our product. So some you may have seen this already. If you have, I hope we are able to show you something new and exciting. If not, I hope we answer some questions and kind of give you some ideas. And so feel free after the end of the presentation to ask as many questions as you would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a little background about BadgePass and kind of why we see photo ID and door access being important to a good foundation to your security system, and kind of why it was important to us to write the two systems as one. And then I'm going to turn it over to Michael Westerfield, who is also with us in Texas, and he's going to show you the product. So, and kind of how it works, just a quick overview of it, and we'll go from there. So, us here at BadgePass, we're a software company. We're headquartered in Ridgeland, Mississippi, which is just north of Jackson, and we started off as a systems integrator, right? Mainly our start was in the ID side of the world. So photo ID, we were one of formerly Data Card, now Entrust. We were one of their first dealers. And we sold their products, and then we sold access control systems such as like Galaxy, if you've ever heard of that. And we integrated the two and made them work together, right? We wrote plugins. So over the course of those years, we talked with a lot of customers, right? And they were like, hey, we love the plugins if you are trying to write to make them work together. But it would just be nice to have a system that was one system, right? That was able to issue a photo ID and then take that photo ID and pretty much use it to do whatever I wanted to do with it, right? Most of the time that's getting a door. And then also in turn be able to run reports on who can get in the door and all the good things that come from an access control system, right? So our founder son was like, well, I'll go back to school and learn how to do that. So he went and got a degree in computer programming and met a bunch of people, and they all came to work with BadgePass and they wrote BadgePass. So BadgePass is our original product. We sold it and still sell it today. It's been around for about 15 years, and it is locally hosted product. It's SQL based, installed on a server somewhere. You use a Windows PC to operate it, all that good stuff. Mercury on the back end for access control hardware. But then as the world did, they moved to the cloud, right? And so we wrote a cloud product, and that cloud product is called BadgePass One. You can see it on the screen now. That's the app that Michael is in. And BadgePass One's a little different. So you can run it from a Windows PC like you always were able to with BadgePass, but you can also run it from iPhone, an iPad, pretty much anything with iOS, right? The new Macs that have an M series chip, M1, M2, M3. I think there may be an M4 now, because those MacBooks run the same app store as the iPad. So what that was able to do is bring it to the cloud, but also give it a lot more flexibility to be able to, not be tied to a PC, right? So what we've done from a software standpoint in both products is our background is an ID. We think the photo ID is very important. We sell directly here in Mississippi to multiple financial institutions. A couple of them just have ID. Some of them have ID integrated with their door access and use BadgePass for door access. And some do that and then take those cards and use them on a time clock and many other things, right? And our goal is to give you an easy way to do that and then to use that card, right? We have a lot that just do ID. So they want everybody identified, photo ID, walking around. A lot of that is at headquarters of financial institutions, right? Where you got a bunch of people in the building, you want them to wear a physical ID so you can see their picture and know they are where they're supposed to be. And while we do have access control, and that's always in the security world, the main thing that people focus on, right, is securing the doors and getting in. We see the photo ID as being a big part of that. And in some worlds, you get a mobile push and a lot of those good things. If you want to get our opinion on mobile versus physical, just check out our LinkedIn. There's plenty of content there for you to get our thoughts on that. But we see the photo ID as being important. It's an important visual indicator that a person is somewhere they're supposed to be. And what's crazy in the security world is the photo ID is kind of a nuisance to most people in security, right? Like giving their customers the ability to issue that ID. And it's a headache, right? It's a headache to find a system that works. And it's a headache to find one that's integrated with whatever system you're currently using. Our goal has always been to make it as easy as possible to give people the ability to issue that ID, right? So that's our primary goal, is to have the best issuance system on the planet. And we've done a pretty good job at that with Enterprise, and BadgePass 1 is well on its way to doing so as well. So what Michael is going to do, I'm going to kind of turn it over to him and let him kind of show you the product, and then I'll talk some more towards the end about how it's benefiting our partners and affecting their business and giving them the opportunity to make money. So Michael, you take it away, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. Like Tyler alluded to, I'm going to be showing you BadgePass 1 today. Kind of the ease of use of it, not only from an ID side, but also that access control side, right? Being able to secure your doors, get away from a hard key solution. That's something we're seeing, not only in the municipalities and the schools, but also, financial institutions, right? So BadgePass 1 has made it easier to do all those things, right? So you can manage this all from a phone, a tablet, or PC. Traditionally, it's single workstation on that PC. So like I said, just allowing you to make that transition easier, right? So what we're going to do here is you see select an app. Guys, the best way I know how to explain this is think of this as like your folders for card holders, right? This is where your database is going to be. This is where your employees are going to live, things like that. So you're able to kind of streamline that process. Let's say if they had, multiple financial institutions around, their local city, right? They're able to manage all of these. If they wanted to secure their doors or have, employee IDs, they can manage that all from their phone right here. And it works a little something like this, right? So if I click on the employee app, now with this system, it's very permission driven. So what I mean by that is it gets away from the traditional way. Traditionally, you've had, one license, what we call one license, that's giving one person the ability to use this software, right? With BadgePass 1, we've cut out a lot of those, unforeseen costs that many people don't think about. And the first one, being, hey, you can have up to 200 admin users using this system. So what I mean by that is having the ability for up to 200 people. That's a lot of hands in that cookie jar, but it just gives you an understanding of, the size companies we work with that need that ability to have, 200 people printing a card. But like I said, it allows you to have, let's say 4 to 5 people being able to print cards, assign access, whatever you need them to do. On top of that, it's very permission driven, so you can assign them to a specific location if you had a business that had multiple, financial institutions, right? So going in here, you have 2 ways to get that data in there. The first one being, a CSV import. That's taking an Excel spreadsheet of, all their employee data, first name, last name, department, title, what have you. You can bring that all in there along with photos as well. Just a quick, easy import. Now, going off of that, the second way is really easy, and it's the add new button, right? So if I click add new here, you'll see here you have all your fields of data, and these fields are completely customizable to, your customer, right? And it's just as simple as filling that name out, filling that information, and taking a picture. And I'll snap a quick photo here for you guys. Awesome. You'd think I'd get a little bit more photogenic, but it doesn't work that way, I assume. But going under there, once you have your photo and it's good to go, you can just click next. Now you do see credentials and group memberships down here. I'll explain that in a little bit. But if I click this, click here. So a group membership is your time groups. That's standard with any access control system, right? What is their level of entry, right? Can they get in 8 to 5, different things like that? You can set time schedules and how you want those to work. And make it by groups of people, right? So admin may have more hours than regular employees. If you have a janitorial staff that comes in at night, you can assign a group for them that allows them to only get in during the 9 hours of access that they're supposed to have access to the building. But from there, in a traditional access system, you'd be typing out that card fully, that card number. With this system, we have what's known as a smart card reader in that printer. So when it prints that card, it actually reads that card number and assigns it in the print process. So what I'll do is I'll print the card, and the beauty of that is you can print from anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're on a phone, a tablet, or a PC, right? It allows you to print from anywhere, even if you're at, one location and the other location may be, 30 minutes to an hour away, right? So you can print wherever you are. It doesn't matter. And if you're on the access side as well, it's actually going to read that card number and assign that access, right? So all you have to do is just click a button, right? And I'm not sure if you guys can see me too well. So as this card is printing out, I'll go ahead and come back here to the screen. Can you guys see me all right?
Yep.
Awesome. Perfect. So as that card's printing out, as you can see, card did come out. Right here, I got my card. I'm going to put it here as I talk about the hardware. So for the hardware, we have 3 options currently. Now your first 2 I'm going to discuss are the wireless lock options. Now a lot of companies use these in scenarios of like interior door settings, right? So that's any kind of, storage closet, office spaces, anywhere, that's inside the building that you don't have a lot of foot traffic. I typically recommend these for a couple reasons. The first one is wireless. So you're not, having to run any kind of wire on this. You just place it on the door and it's good to go. Second reason is you're not doing any kind of structural integrity. You're not messing with the structural integrity of that building. Like I said, it's really just a simple, just put it on the door. It's good to go. And we have these in a mortise lock. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. We have the 2 wireless options in a mortise lock. So the mortise lock, best way I know how to explain it, is kind of those heavy duty doors. They got the teeth in the lock itself. But then on top of that, we have the cylindrical, which is more like your standard office door, any kind of door around your house. You pretty much find those anywhere. But lastly, what we have is the RCs. So the RCs is actually a hardwired option. I typically recommend these in like your exterior door settings. These can be interior as well, with places with a lot of high foot traffic. But I really push those on the exterior doors. It's kind of like the standard reader you'd see outside of any building, right? But it just gives you that ability to be able to go in there. You get that card out. You're able to hit that reader. And it comes and the light's green. And so like I said, it's just as easy as you print that card out, you tap that reader, and it's good to go. Am I making sense on all this so far, guys? Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my screen here and show you another thing in terms of the ease of access control, right? So as you guys just saw, it's really simple to print a badge. You just click a button, you fill out that information, and you see it also assigns access, so I'm able to get in and out of the doors once that card hits the bottom of the printer. But on top of that, we have another feature that I think is really cool, and it's called the Reader Control app. So what the Reader Control app does is allow you to manage and access doors from a remote location, right? So if I click on Reader Control here, as you can see, I got these two doors on here. Now, the first one you're seeing, the front door, that's actually the door of the reader that's right behind me, right? So it actually shows the status of the door, and then it shows if it's locked, if the reader itself is locked or unlocked. So the beauty of this is let's say, you know, you have someone at the front desk that you want to be able to manage the doors, you know, without having to get up and let someone in every time, right? They could be assign the permissions to the Reader Control app. And from here, when they select that door, they have three options: unlock, secure, and quick grant. Now, unlock does exactly what it says it does, guys. If I press unlock, it's going to unlock that door. Now, if you press unlock, it's going to stay unlocked until you press that secure button. You press that secure button back, and it closes that door, locks it, secures it, and now you're ready to rock. But also, a cool feature in there is the quick grant. So what the quick grant does is it actually pulses that door for about 5 seconds, almost mimicking a card read, right? So if I press quick grant here, now come over here, you guys are able to see that it turns green, unlocks. Once it goes back, it sets back to secure, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's very beneficial from a remote standpoint. You're able to see those doors, the activity on it that's live, and you're able to manage that all from a remote standpoint. And like I said, you can do this from a phone, a tablet, or PC, which has really been a game changer for our customers. Because traditionally with an ID and access control system, you're usually only tied to one specific PC. Something happens to that PC, you have to get a new one, you have to buy an additional license. With BadgePass One, we've made it easy to implement, easy to use, you know, and even easier to purchase by cutting out, you know, a lot of those unforeseen costs. But going off of that, you know, I kind of want to open up the floor to you guys because like I said, you know, I was going to keep it quick because it is about easy. You know, whether you're printing a card or you're assigning access and getting away from a hard key solution, BadgePass One is designed to streamline this entire process to where it's essentially a click of a button.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like Michael said, and like we kind of preach easy, right? So everybody, I know all of you implement different systems all across different financial institutions and maybe some other verticals as well that have to do with security or many different other things, right? So when your customer's looking for ID, we wanted you to have an option to be able to go in with, right? Not have to refer to them to somebody else. And it's something that's, like Michael said, it's easy to put in. It's very easy to support. We also support our partners. So if you don't want to learn a ton about printer hardware and how to fix it, even though they're really simple, we have different options from a support level that offers our partner support to help them help their customers, right, and make sure that they have a solid solution that's up and running, easy to use, and keeps it secure, right? So it's always important to us when we're issuing the ID and making it work on a door or whatever else, that we said, hey, you gotta have a good way to deactivate those cards, right? And you can't solely depend on humans to go in and deactivate cards. You're gonna have credential overflow, which means, you know, like there's active keys to your building and you don't really know where they're at. So that's our main focus, a little different than other access systems where their focus is integrated with cameras and that kind of thing. So there's a bunch of benefit to companies that sell these products and install them. And I think what I'd like to do first, I can cover some of those if nobody's got questions about them at the end, but I'd like to, BJ, open it up and see if anybody has any questions.
Yes, we do. So we're talking about two different customers here because we're talking about the companies that are on this, that are talking to resell this, as well as their end users. Do you have a lot of dealer organizations that are using ID badges to control access to their own buildings? I mean, I'm just thinking from a security standpoint these days, where you're responsible for everything that goes on and who walks in the building. When you're selling these, I guess my question is, what percentage of them are you selling to people that are actually going to use them, and how much of your volume is going through resellers?
So I would say with us, it's about we sell direct only in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama.
Okay.
Everywhere else in the country, we sell through our partner channel. So I'd say typically on our volume, it's about 70-30 through the partner channel. You know, we're homegrown right here in Mississippi, so we like this state up a good bit, so we get a good chunk of business from Mississippi, but the majority of our business is done through the partner channel. And you know, we do everything from, you know, we sell it to them, to the partners, and we got some partners that are very independent, and they, you know, they learn the product very well, and they can demo it themselves, they can install it themselves, they support it themselves. But then we have some too that they're good at, say, door hardware, the security side, and they aren't very great at the software side or the ID portion. So we'll sell it to them, and it's their deal, just like it is anyone else, and we'll help them support it, right? So if they have a software question come up that they're not, you know, that well versed in, we will jump on with them and help them figure it out with their end user customer.
Okay. Another question. You stated it works with Apple products and Windows. So what if you have an Android phone? Is there an option?
Not right now, but it is coming soon. So we actually just rewrote the app, and it rolled out like 3 weeks ago, I think, and it's on a different platform. So it'll be ease of use into Android. So right now, Android, the app for Google App Store and Android and all that good stuff is being tested right now. So it's done. It's just been in testing. So we're not far away from having Android support.
When somebody is going out on their first sales call, how do you normally handle that? Do you set up a live demo? Do you go out with the customer, visit? How do you handle dealer support?
So typically how we would do that from a sales side is we kind of let the partner control that, right? We don't really want to infringe on their customers. Now I say that, but we will also bring our partners leads. Like Michael and that team, they call end users all over the country, and we bring those leads to partners. But we will most of the time it's virtual that you will get our support from a sales side, because 3 of our 4 salespeople that work with our partner channel are right here outside my door in Mississippi. But that's what they're here for. They're here to support our partners on the sales side, and if they need demos done, they can help with demos. If they say, hey, I've got a customer and I think they're a good fit for this, but I'm not real sure, could you help me hop on and ask some questions to see if it's going to benefit them? We're more than happy to do that. We'll do the demo for our partners. We will help our partners quote the product, whatever they need from us, pretty much we're here for, but most of it is done virtually.
Okay. Is there some way to figure out an average price per card per employee? Do you have any ballpark for this?
Yeah, I actually do. A PVC card, like if you're just using it for ID and you don't have any technology in it, which would be different from what Michael printed. So what Michael printed on is a smart card. It's like this, and it's got a chip in there, and you can tap it to get on the door, or tap it on a point of sale, wherever you're tapping it, right? Those are typically, we'll just say, like all-in cost, when you take, cost of a printer, average that out over, the life cycle of that printer, plus the ribbons and different kinds of things. Michael, we can still see your screen, brother. So when you average all that out, a technology card will typically cost you around $7 a card, printed out the door, and a PVC card is under $1. So.
Okay. What maintenance is required on this system?
Yeah, so with BadgePass 1, with it being cloud-based, there's not really any maintenance from the software side, right? Like we push updates very regularly, to the software, and sometimes you have to update the app, but we'll typically like send an email out when we're pushing an update saying that you're going to have to update the app to continue using it after this update. And then also there will be a push notification when the customer opens the app for the first time after that update's released. But outside of that, that's about all the maintenance. We take care of that on the software side. On the hardware side, like here in Mississippi where we service customers direct, we sell maintenance plans with our printers, and typically what we do is we go out, we call them preventative maintenance, and we'll go out and inspect the printers, clean them, make sure that everything is working well. And what that covers is it covers all parts and labor, typically with us. And we'll do the same on access control, where we'll go once a year and inspect the locks and readers and make sure everything's performing and fix anything that's not. But also what those maintenance plans does is it covers any support that they may need for the system, whether it be hardware or software as well.
If someone is going to become a dealer for your products and they are starting to get a customer base going, how do you train their technicians and get them ready to do their own preventive maintenance and maintain the systems?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a whole training program. It's a guy named Daniel Graywatts. He actually runs training for the organization. He trains both sides of the house. So the support team, how to support the product, all that good stuff. And then he and Robbie on our customer success team, they do admin training, because there's some, BadgePass 1 does have an automated billing portal in it where you can sign up to pay for the product for ACH or credit card. So what we've done is we've seen it help a lot of our partners, like showing them how we consolidate invoices and reconcile all that good stuff that really I don't think about every day. But Daniel also trains the sales staff, so like how to sell it, teaches them about the product, how to demo it, all that good stuff. So we have a pretty intensive training schedule. Typically we start with sales, because the support team doesn't really need training until you can get a deal sold, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll do admin after that and sales after that. So it's typically, and then the support training is in 3 different level classes. So you start off with like the basics, and then you'll do the level 2 class, which gets into kind of bringing data in and some beginning access control stuff. And then level 3 is like an advanced type training class.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Anybody else have any questions?
All right.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, if not, let me wrap up with just one thing. Like, one thing a lot of people don't think about is, where we see this being a benefit for organizations selling these products are you're already in with the customer, right? And you already provide them services for many different things. And most of these organizations are looking for security products, door access, photo ID, that kind of thing. It gives you another tool in your tool belt to say, hey, I'm the person you need to come to for XYZ, for door access, for photo ID. And then it's also able to people don't think about the printers and the printer supplies and being able to offer maintenance. And you are now their one-stop shop for everything from whatever you do to their ID card printer, right? And making sure everything's up and running. So that's always been a pretty cool thing, to be able to kind of be a one-stop shop for your customers for anything, security related. So just something to keep in mind. If y'all need, if you want a more personalized demo, you want us to get on and talk about if you have some places you think this might be a fit and you kind of want to test us out, feel free to give me a call or Michael, or shoot us an email, whatever's most convenient for you. We'd be happy to help, and happy to hop on a call with you, answer any questions, show you whatever you want to see, and see about getting you going.
Okay. All right. So again, just so you know, Tyler's email is Tyler, tyler.smith@badgepass.com.
That's right.
And so I will follow up to everyone who was on this with contact information, and a big thank you for spending your time with us today, and to BadgePass for putting on this webinar. We're always looking for topics and subjects that are new to the members or that have a new approach, and I thank BadgePass for the time to do this today. And we will get this webinar up on the FSPA website, and you will hear from me. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy your upcoming weekend, and we will talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you all for having us. See ya.
Thank you.